Hey there guys, Artistic Nick here, thanks for the click. In today's drawing request video, I'm going to be drawing the Grinch using Copic markers and Prismacolor pencils. As with all of my drawings, I use a Caran D'ache 2H pencil to freehand the sketch in. This takes me about an hour and a half usually, but with this Grinch it took me a little bit longer. I wanted to make sure that I got the proportions right and I got everything in the right place, eye placement, nose placement and whatnot. So I would say I spent about 2.5 hours just trying to get this right, making lots of corrections on the way. For the main bulk of the colour for this drawing I'm using Copic markers, and the main colour that I'm using is a colour called yellowish green. I thought that this would make a great colour. Part of the Grinch's face is actually in light and one part is in shade, so I do go darker on the right hand side as the drawing starts to develop, but I did think this would be a great base colour. An awful lot of ink was used up for this. It's quite a large space. You can't always see how big these are drawing, but I'm using A4 size paper here, and this is covering, you know, at least half of it, so it did take an awful lot of ink out, so I'm going to have to refill this once I've completed the drawing. To get the creases in the Grinch's face, I'm actually using Prismacolor pencils, and I'm using a grass green just to go into the darkest areas, and I'm blending out towards the light, so I'm going from the right to the left just so that our eyes do perceive the light as coming from the left hand side. You'll see this develop over the drawing, and the right hand side of the Grinch's face is actually very dark. To get the very darkest areas I'm obviously going to be using a black, but I do go through a grass green and an emerald green as well, and there's also in the Prismacolor pack that I've got a colour called dark green, so I do use a combination of all of these. And one of the fantastic things about the Prismacolor pencils is you can blend, so you can work on top of other layers even if it is a different colour, so you do have a little bit of play with how you're developing these colours rather than just having to go straight into a dark black. I had a lot of fun with these. This is the most coloured pencil work that I've actually done on any of my drawings, and it was absolutely necessary because I wanted this Grinch, although it is a cartoon character, I wanted it to look quite realistic. The reference image that I was using was one that was taken from the movie that was made well over a decade ago now. Jim Carrey played the Grinch, so it was something that I wanted to try and capture, you know, the realistic look of the Grinch rather than just your standard sort of cartoon looking Grinch. If you guys are into art videos, tutorials, request videos, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn the notifications icon on, that way you'll be notified when I do drop a new video, and I'm doing 3 to 4 videos a week at the moment. I'm also doing requests. If you have something that you'd like me to draw, don't forget, send me a comment down below. It might be your favourite cartoon character, it might be an anime character, or it could be a realistic drawing. Don't forget, send me that down below and I will endeavour to comment back and also do your drawing and give you a shout out as well. You can also find me on all the usual social media platforms. The links to all of my social platforms are down below in the descriptions. It'd be great to connect with you on those. If you've got any ideas for future content, or you have a question about something specifically with the art that I've been doing, or something that you'd like to learn or know, then the best way to get hold of me is, like I say, on the social media platforms. So it'd be great to get a like on my Facebook page and also for a follow on the Instagram page as well. For the white trim around the Father Christmas hat that the Grinch is wearing, I'm using a technique that I learned a couple of years back now when I was trying to draw white hair on a horse. So the technique that I'm using a graphite pencil, which is a 2B pencil, and I'm actually finding the darkest areas and I'm drawing those in, and then I'm brushing the graphite around with a very soft brush, and then I'm taking out the white strands of hair with an eraser. In this case I'm using a Mono 0 eraser, which is a very, very fine push button eraser. This technique can then be repeated, so adding graphite, brushing the graphite in and removing until you're happy with the final look. You can get some very realistic looking white hair using this technique, so I'm really happy that I've used this on the Grinch, because I just think it adds a new dimension and a new layer rather than going with the coloured pencil crayons or even the Copic markers for this. Before we get to the end of the video, guys, I just want to thank you all so much for supporting the channel. Every like, share, comment and subscription means an awful lot to my channel. My channel's seeing some great growth at the minute, and that's down to you guys supporting me. Don't forget to send me any more requests in. Don't forget to find me on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. I'd love to link up with you on there. I'm just going to leave you with the closing shot now of my final Grinch drawing. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Hit subscribe, smack the notifications button, follow me on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter.